Hey guys, it's Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a biblically themed co-op game called Kings of Israel. Kings of Israel is a 2 to 4 player game. You could probably play it solo, just one player plays 2 characters, where players are trying to get rid of sin throughout Israel, tear down the idols, trying to build up a number of different altars based on number of players before either Israel is destroyed because there's too many evil kings, or there's too much sin or idols in the land. It's a pretty straightforward game. It's a cool theme, and it's nice to see a biblically themed game that actually has some meat to it, but that's enough of that. Let's go down to the table, see how it plays. Alright, so here's a game of Kings of Israel set up for 2 players. I'll go over setup really quickly and then we're just going to get started. So to set up, you're going to give each player a turn order. It's going to have this on profit action on the front, game turn order on the back, so I'm just using 2 different ones because I'm playing with myself. You're going to give each player 2 resources. The resources will look like this. There'll be different things. There'll be grain. They'll look like that. There'll be cattle. They'll also say what they do at the bottom, but it's also laid out on the actions. And you're going to give each player an ability, which will be something that they can do on their turn that makes them a little bit different than everybody else. So which player is this? Chinnereth. The orange player, which is this one, which I'll probably forget while we're playing. They get to do that. Once per turn, you may discard 1 resource card to draw a new one for free. And then the green player will have their own ability. You're going to put them in the starting locations, which are on the ability cards. So Megiddo for the green and Chinnereth for the orange. You're going to shuffle the sin and punishment, shuffle the blessings, shuffle the location, shuffle resources. And before the game gets started, you're going to seed the board. It's kind of pandemic style where you're going to flip some cards, put some sin out, which are the black cubes. And then you're going to shuffle some cards and put some idols out, which are the golden calves. And that's about it. And we'll go ahead and play. So, there's also this little crown for the Kings of Israel. The first year is Saul. So then we're going to go. So what you're going to do on a turn is, first thing you're going to do is you're going to do the King's Godliness phase, which what that means is you're going to flip either a blessing card if it's one of the yellow good kings, or a sin and punishment card if it's one of the many red kings. Israel had a lot of red kings. All right, so in this case, we're with Saul. He's a good king, so we're going to flip a blessing card, and we're going to get to do it. Remove a sin cube from each area that has a profit. So that doesn't really help us a ton because we don't have any profits where we are, but c'est la vie, that's the way it rolls sometimes. So that's the first thing you're going to do. On the first round, we're going to skip the next phase, which is sin increase. Since we already did all the stuff, the sin increasing at the beginning, we're not going to do that this time, but normally you'd flip some location cards for number of players plus 1 and then seed it. So now we're going to go to profits action phase. So what we can do here is we can take 4 actions of any of these things. We can move. So for an action, we can move 1. Or we can discard a cattle card to move an additional up to 3. So we can move 3 movement by using 1 cattle card in 1 action. We can destroy an idol. So using 2 actions, if I was at Mount Carmel with the idol, the golden calf, I could clear that off the board. So that's that. We can acquire resources. So for 1 action, we can take 1 resource off the resource deck, which is going to be gold, stone, wood, cattle, and grain, and gold, I believe. I might be missing something. And then we can build an altar. The reason we need to collect resources is because we need gold, stone, and wood to build an altar. So if we don't have any of that things, building an altar is out of the question. And to win in a 2-player game, we have to build 7 altars. So right now there's 1 in Samaria. So we have 1. We need 6 more. All right. Next thing we can do is we can make a sacrifice. If I'm at a location containing an altar, I can discard a cattle and a grain. Sacrificing the cattle on the altar. And I can get rid of all the cubes where the altar is, plus 1 in every adjacent city. That's pretty nice. Or if I was in the same area as the other player, we can trade resources back and forth. So there are 6 actions, 7 actions we can do. We get to do 4 things. All right, so it's orange player's turn. I'm going to forget this real bad, but that's fine. So orange player, once per turn, they can discard a resource card to draw one for free. So they're going to discard the grain right now. No, yeah, they'll discard the grain. So they're going to discard the grain, and they get to draw a new resource. So they drew some stone. All right, so that's going to help them be closer to getting an altar. All right, next thing they can do, they have 3 more actions. So let's see. They're going to go to Mount Carmel. That's 2 actions. And then for 2 more actions, they're going to clean up the idol. They're going to get rid of the golden calf. All right, so that's their turn. Now we're going to move on to... dang it, I moved green. Every time. Just kidding. So I do a resource, and then I'm going to move 1, 2, that's 3 actions, and for 1 action I'm going to preach, which is an action I didn't say. It's going to let you get rid of 1 cube. So that's that. Alright, so now it's the green player's turn. And they are going to, it does not take an action for you to perform the give resources action. You may also give resources to any profit that is adjacent to you. Not super great, but whatever. Alright, so what do they want to do? They are going to move 1. For another action, 2 actions, they're going to get rid of the calf, just like we tried to do last time. Then for the last action, they're going to draw a resource. So they have some wood. Alright. So now, first player is going to move over to green. And at the end of the round, we're going to slide down the crown. We're not going to hit the areas that have black spaces next to them. Those are for 3 and 4 player games. We're playing a 2. And then we're going to get started. So the first thing, we're going to King's Godliness. We have a Godly King. So we're doing a blessing. Look through the resource deck for up to 3 gold cards and add them to your hand. Shuffle the resource deck afterwards. So whoever the green player is going to get 3 gold cards, which is actually really nice because they can give stuff away for free. So let's get some gold. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so they get 3 gold. We'll shuffle this bad boy. Alright, so now they have 3 gold, so they can be giving people stuff. There's a hand limit of 6. So they need to start doing some things with some stuff. Let's see. What do they want to do? Alright, so I'm going to go here. I'm going to use my special power. It does not take an action to give the resources action. You may also give resources to any players. Okay, so for 1 action, I'm going to give this player some gold. And then, so that's 1 action. It doesn't cost me an action for that. Then I'm going to go discard some grain so I can move up to 3. This will be action number 2. Alright, so discard grain. And I'll move 1, 2, 3. That's 2 actions. 3rd action, I'm going to preach, get rid of a cube. 4th action, I'm going to draw a resource. And I have more grain. Alright. And that's green player's turn. Now it's orange player. They have gold and stone. They need some wood. So first thing they're going to do is they're going to take 2 actions and draw 2 resources. They have grain and cattle. So I'll show you what the artwork looks like just so you can see it. Grain and cattle. So they now have 5 cards. So for the next one, they are going to preach. I actually forgot to replenish cubes, so I will do that twice next time because I am dumb. And then for the last one, they are going to just move 1. Now I'm going to do the locations. We're going to do 3. So we'll do Terza. This just should have had a cube in it before my turn, which I forgot. Alright, so whenever you get 3 cubes in a city, 3 sin cubes, like Terza, you're going to get a calf. So they now have an idol. We also have Cobble. Thought I had a cube. Okay, so there's that. And then we have Amen, the nation of Amen. Alright, so the way the nations work is they don't get any sin cubes. They get sin cubes put in the adjacent towns. So Mount Nebo and Jabesh Gilead get sin cubes. Alright, and that was that. And done. Alright, so now that was the orange player's turn. It will go to the end of the round. Starting player token will pass over here. And then we are still in a good king, so we'll do a blessing. Place this card out face up. Once per round, a single player may give another player one resource for free if both players are at the same location. So we'll go ahead and put this over here as a reminder. All right, so then we will do Sin Increase, which is what we should have done last time. So we'll draw 3 of those. So we have Mount Tabor. We get 1. That's where this guy is. Okay. Then we will do Judah. So Judah's going to go to Jericho and Bethel. So Jericho's going to get an idol. And then it's going to, I'm going to go to Bethel. Whenever there's an idol and it gets more sin, it's going to expand. And only one city can be affected by each sin card. So since Jericho already got some, they're not going to get any. So this is going to expand to Joppa and Shiloh. And then for the third one, we have Dor. Where's Dor? And that's up here. All right. So we're not looking very good right now with the idols. So we need to get some of those cleaned up. So it is orange player's turn. They need some wood. So they're going to take 1 action to get a resource. I got more stone. Alright, I need some wood. Okay, so I'm going to use a grain, or some cattle, actually. I'll use a cattle. I'm going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. That's 2 actions. Here's 3. Cleaning and preaching at heifer. And 4, I'm going to take in the resource card. And I have more grain. Alright, so I still have 6 cards, so I'm good. Alright, now it's green player's turn. They are going to... Oh wait, and before I do that, I'm going to use one of these. I'm going to discard a grain card, and I can draw a new resource card for free. Dang cattle, come on. Alright. So now it's green. They're going to use a grain, and they are going to move 3 spaces. So 1, 2, 3. They're going to move 1 more for 2 actions. Then for their third or fourth action, going to clean up the idol. All right. So that's that. First player marker's moving over to green. So now green's first player. Now we're going to be in the bad kings for a while. So we're going to get some sin and punishment. Shiloh receives 2 sin cubes, and any altar in Shiloh is destroyed. Sin spreads to Philistia. Shiloh receives 2 sin cubes. Where's Shiloh? 2 sin cubes, so we'll get an idol. And then sin spreads to Philistia. If I can find that. Sin spreads from Philistia, so this will go here. So Joppa. All right. So let me explain. If we ever run out of calves, idols, or cubes, we lose the game. If we come down here, we lose the game. So multiple ways to lose, 1 way to win. So let's try to do another round, see how far we can get. We need 3 more locations. All right. So we have Joppa. Where's Joppa? All right. So now they have another idol. Lots of idols. We have heifer. Just clean that up. That's good. Mount Nebo. Now they have an idol. All the idols are down south, man. It's crazy. All right. So we need to get some of these cleaned up. So orange, what you going to do? We're going to move. Nope, I don't need to do that right now. So I'm going to move 1. Spend an action to get rid of an idol. Then an action to get rid of a cube. And that's 4. It's 4 actions for orange. Now it's green's turn. They are going to draw a resource. Draw another. Nope. They're just going to draw 1. They're going to spend 2 actions to get all 3 actions to get rid of. No, let's see. Yeah, all 3 actions to get rid of cubes. So that's their 4 actions, and that's it. So first player comes back over here. sliding down to Bahasha. And we're going to do a sin and punishment. Remove the sin cubes and 1 idol in the reserve pile from the game. Remove 3 sin cubes and 1 idol from the game. Ooh, that's speeding up the end. That is not good. If there are not enough sin cubes in the reserve pile, players lose. Okay, so we didn't lose. It's getting close. All right. So then we're going to do the sin spread. Jericho, Aram, and Ammon. So Jericho, where's Jericho? Joshua fought the battle of Jericho. Alright, so this goes here. This goes over to here. This spreads to nowhere because it can't do anything. This spreads to here. This spreads to here and here. They get an idol. And this spreads to there. And we lose because we ran out of cubes. So, not exactly the result I wanted to show you, but that's what happened. So, we lost real bad. But that's how you play Kings of Israel. Let's go up to the top, see what they think about it. All right, so that was Kings of Israel. Gotta say, FunHill is knocking it out of the park for me. They did Wisdom of Solomon. Huge fan, because, well, Philip DeBerry is amazing. And I like Kingdom of Solomon, Wisdom of Solomon, even better. This game is incredible. I'm not a huge co-op fan, but I like the theme of this. It draws me in. It's easy. It's a co-op game that's not super difficult to play. So if you can play Pandemic, which this is going to resemble a little bit in the way that the sin spreads throughout the board, but outside of that it's different, well, in the 4 actions. So if you know how to play Pandemic, this is going to be an easy transition into this game because it's similar concepts, but you have the sin, the awesome little golden calves, which I really enjoy. You have some interesting resource cards. You have the blessings for good kings, sin and punishment for bad kings, and you're just trying to be efficient, getting rid of sin, making sure that, you know, you have people in the appropriate spots on the board. Because as you saw in the run through, all the sin and the idols were down at the bottom. We were up at the top, and that was causing some problems. So you got to kind of work together. You got to kind of plan out your strategy. You got to try to ensure you can get resources to help build the altars, because part of that's the problem is maybe you spend 4 turns getting resources, but you never get the gold, the stone, and the wood. If you don't have all that, you can't build the altar. It makes it a little difficult to win. So that's the one gripe that I have, is the altars are really tough to build. Outside of that, it's a great time. You're probably going to get your butt kicked in the first couple games until you really figure out what's going on. Like you can see in the run through, I lost in 15 minutes. Go me. I'm awesome. But that's neither here nor there. If you like biblically themed games, you like co-op games, if you're a fan of Pandemic and want something maybe a little bit different, or you want a game that you can play with your church or your youth group, or just at somebody's houses who want to experience some board games that, you know, the theme is, if you're into religious themes or if you're Christians, it's a cool theme. So I like it. Board Game Mechanics accepted right there. Go ahead and put that up there. And I can't wait to play this game some more. So I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and keep gaming.